So yeah, as they go off on the warm-up lap, we'll just have a quick run-through of the results of qualifying and therefore the starting order. We don't want some car info, get out of there. So, pole position is Phil Garside, SCR Garside, then it's Callum Kirkpatrick, then it's Ashley Field and Jack Braley on row 2. Row 3 is Luca Townsend and Ryan Powell. Then we've got Andrew Lawrence and Nathan Rutherford. Behind them you've got Jake Ewan and Declan Evans. Now I was instructed by Jake how to actually say his surname, so hopefully from now on I shouldn't butcher it at all. Keep going back outside the top 10, we've got Mark Roddick with a definitely improvement for his qualifying, put himself in 11th place, then Ali Johnston, Conor Ambrose alongside Ben Berenson. Keep going back, we've got Robert Newman and Kieran McKeldin, we've got Stephen Cumming and Kyle Cully down in 18th. 19th is Shane Bellotti, 20th is James Allen, and 21st is Stuart Robson. So, no BMWs anymore. Kirkpatrick was the lone BMW, but he's made the switch to the Audi S3 for the remainder of the season. So not expecting much to change off the start line apart from potentially those Chevys, but this is the longest, the second longest rundown, if I remember rightly, just behind Catalunya for the for turn 1. Might actually be longer than Catalunya, now I think about it. So you should expect to see quite a lot by the time it gets to that point. As you can see, Garside slowing the field down to make sure that he's not going to have cold tyres by the time the rest of the grid has formed up. But yeah, all in all, expecting a decent race. Hopefully they'll keep it clean. Hopefully we won't have the same issues as last week. Now we've had a check and the Forza servers should be a lot better this time round. Shouldn't get the black screen of death showing that a lot of people are being booted out. Looking at the top, it looks like Kieran McKeldin's dropped down to 20th. I'm not sure if he's had an issue, and that's why he's put himself all the way back. See if I can get a quick look at him. Could be that he's just dropped back. Yeah, he's going past everyone again now. That's fine, he's going to be back in position, so I'll go back to the front. Now we're going to try and watch Garside for the start procedure, see if he can get a good getaway. Car to watch out probably will be looking all the way back down in 4th place, which is going to be Jack Braley. He's the one we'll expect to get the best start of them all. Possibly be leading into turn 1 in that Chevrolet. Otherwise, Luca Townsend, expect a decent start from him in 5th, but he has got the 5% ballast, of course. It's going to be interesting to see who's going to get away well. Again, my bet is probably going to be one of the Chevrolets to be leading into turn 1, especially with this long run down. They do get away better. But yeah, as we can see, all forming up, getting onto the grid. Garside obviously holding on to first place here on the left. Back of the grid is now just getting into position. So we can hear the revs climbing, waiting for the green. And we are underway with race 1. Looks like a decent start as expected by one of the Chevrolets. I think that's Jack Brady who's making a run around the outside, potentially going to be leading into turn 1 as expected. Phil Garside holding on to that right hand side, who's going to be holding the inside line, but he's having to switch and go right behind Brady. So Brady leading into turn 1. Got Andrew Lawrence making a move down the inside, but Callum Kirkpatrick has shut that one off. On the outside, it looks like Nathan Rutherford made a decent getaway to get himself up to potentially 4th place there as well. You can see it's Brady from Garside. At the back, it looks like everyone's got through cleanly. It looks like Shane Belotti's dropped back down to the back off the getaway, so maybe had an instant into turn 1, not sure. Have to see if we can get a reading on that one later on, but like I say, we've got Jack Brady in 1st, 2nd is Garside, 3rd is Callum Kirkpatrick, who's done well to hold on to 3rd with that Audi. Luca Townsend behind, a little bit of a kick on the dirt, I believe that was Kirkpatrick, so he's going to be under pressure now from Luca Townsend. Looks like Luca's going to try and go round the outside as extremely loud vehicles outside. Luca Townsend is just going to have to slot in behind now. One car's dropped back a little bit there, possibly have to check up there. It looked like that was actually Field who slowed down quite a bit through the double right-hander of Arrabbiata 1 and 2. Looks like everyone's getting through cleanly, which is always good for lap 1, so we'll go back to the front to see Jack Braley leading the way from Phil Garside, who's all over the back of him looking for a gap, but he's not going to find it there. You can see them making their way round into the chicane for the first time. Down into the final turn, so as we can see Braley's made 3 places off the start. Garside and Kirkpatrick obviously both dropping back. Big gains also for Nathan Rutherford, but actually Field dropping down 5. Someone's made a bit of an error on the outside. It looks like possibly kicked up gravel through the chicane on the exit. Looks like Carl Cully's dropping back a bit. So looks like they're going quite wide at the back of the pack there. See if we can get a read on that. That's down in 16th. Someone's dived into the pits. Potentially. Let's get a look, see who's that. Looks like Shane Bellotti, so something's definitely happened to him. He's had to make a run for the pits. That's unfortunate for him, but he's going to get back out. So front three look like they're getting away just a tiny bit, and Luca Townsend's just trying to hang on to the back and bring potentially Nathan Rutherford along with him, who along with Rutherford is going to be bringing Ryan Powell, the Welshman, in that Audi S3. Looks like he's going around the outside, but he's not going to beat him under brakes there, but he's going to switch back, look around, all over the back, trying to make a move on that Chevrolet, and he's get the inside line now, going into Casanova. That's a good move there by Powell, so puts himself up into 5th place, but Rutherford's going to try and get straight back on him again, but he's just going to slot in behind, potentially going to try and get him into... No. Powell blocks him off going into Arrabbiata, so that's a good move by Powell, made it stick. Front with the stick still Brady from Garside and Kirkpatrick. Luca Townsend getting away from these two that are battling. Behind them, the battle for 7th is heating up with Andrew Lawrence at the front of it. Behind him, he's got Ashley Field, and I believe that was Jake Ewan, who's also under attack from the 10th place of Declan Evans as well. So these four are going to probably stay bunched together for a bit. Behind them, Mark Ruddick is just leading the train of 3 cars. It wasn't Ruddick, my apologies. Ruddick's dropped down to 15th. That is Ben Berenson who's up into 11th. Decent drive so far from him. Go back to the front. Braley's now getting a gap on Garside, who's having to defend heavily from Callum Kirkpatrick as they go into the final corner. Kirkpatrick maybe have a look at the inside now. Garside shut that one off quite well. And then looks like the battle for 7th really kind of heating up now. It looks like there's not going to be anything going down into turn 1 between those guys, so we'll stick with the battle going on here for 2nd place between Garside and Kirkpatrick, both of which are getting a good run. Now it's whether those two are going to battle and allow Braley to get away, or whether they're going to try and almost work together, but we know Kirkpatrick, any chance he gets to make a position, he will be taking that from Garside and look to do the fight. There has been reports and rumours that Kirkpatrick is going to be leaving at the end of this season. It's been not confirmed quite as Garside kicks up a bit of gravel. That's really going to allow Kirkpatrick in. Kirkpatrick's got a good run and he's going on to the inside. Going into Materazzi. Looks like he's going to hang it round the outside. A bit of contact between the two of them. And all this has done is allow Luca Townsend right onto the back of him as well. Under braking, looks like Garside and that TCR is going to hold on to position. Really good driving from the pair of them. Bit of contact, that's touring cars. Again, this is allowing Luca Townsend into the fight. Back, look like not much going on behind them. We'll see. Got a few guests forming as we have the black screen. Please don't tell me someone has been booted. We'll soon know. It looks like Kyle Cully is the one to have fallen. I think I just saw at the top. So Kyle Cully, unfortunately, has been dropped out of the race, which leaves us with 20 runners. Shane Bellotti down in 20th after his pit stop. Will be scoring points at this rate. It'll only be the one, but points, you know, they all count, and obviously, naturally. Bellotti will not argue with that at all. So we look to enter lap 5. It is still Braley from Garside. Kirkpatrick still on the back of him. as well as Luca Townsend just hanging with them, and a long couple car lengths back is Ryan Powell, who's definitely looking to get involved into this fight. See Garside defend the inside line, but he's broke a little bit late and that nearly let Kirkpatrick in. Looks like a change for 7th place there, as Ashley Field and Jake Ewan have both got past Andrew Lawrence, who looks like he's just dropped back behind Declan Evans. So I didn't quite see what's happened there, but this position's made up, and so we are following Ashley Field in his MCE Logitech Honda, sat currently in 7th place, holding off the attack from the Lux 724 with BCR Mercedes-Benz of Jake Ewan. Ash is really using the width of the track there to just keep that Mercedes behind and to try and carry as much speed as he can with his Honda. Declan Evans has dropped back just a tiny bit, so I don't think he's going to get involved in this fight quite yet, but Ewan under braking has got really close to the back of Field there. Quick check at the front to see. It looks now like Phil Garside is definitely holding up the guys behind him, at the very least defending perfectly, and that's really allowing Ryan Powell into this mix. And all that's doing is allowing Jack Braley to get away, so Braley at the moment, as long as he makes no mistakes, could be looking for another win here. Kirkpatrick again looking at the inside line. It looks like Garside's running a little bit wide, and that's going to definitely allow Kirkpatrick on the inside, but they touch a little bit under as they drive away from the apex, and Kirkpatrick's going to have to slot in, maybe get a bit of slipstream. Garside moves over to the right to defend that inside line under braking, see if Kirkpatrick's going to try and do the same as he did last time. Looks like Kirkpatrick's gone a little bit deeper to try and get a better exit and push him on towards the next couple of turns, but Garside's holding on to that position well. Further back I could see there was a change. It looked like, who was that who made his position up? It looked like, couldn't quite tell. I definitely saw a couple of switches back there, but I can't really see who it was who moved up. But 12th place at the moment, Conor Ambrose has been left behind by Bren Brenson, who's looking to get onto the back of Andrew Lawrence, who's dropping off the battle that was for 7th place. So Lawrence, after losing out on 7th to Ashley Field, has then dropped back to 10th and is slowly being caught now by the oncoming Swede. So interesting racing going on so far. It's kind of all looks like something going on for 2nd place. Kirkpatrick looks like he's gone through on Garside. I just caught the dots on the map making the moves, and Kirkpatrick has slowed the position of that overtake. Looks like it's just allowing Luca Townsend to make his move on Garside as well, and Powell again is right on the back of him. So now all we can see is Kirkpatrick looking to get away and hopefully try and catch up with Brady, but Garside is being swamped at the moment by Luca Townsend. Townsend trying to get a nose in front of him, trying to just get any positions at all that he can. With one of his main title rivals, Brandon Roos, his teammate, not being here tonight, he's seeing if he can get as many points as he can to try and just extend his lead and look to hold on to that 1st place after the missing of a couple rounds a couple of weeks back meant that Luke Townsend did drop out of the top 3. So he's looking for redemption here. Ryan Powell looks like he's getting a run on Townsend, but Townsend's shut the door on him again. Great racing here for making up the final podium positions. In fact, it looks like Ryan Powell may be making an attack on Luca Townsend as they make their way into turn 1. That 5% power handicap on the Chevrolet is really damaging Luca Townsend down the main straight, and Ryan Powell looks like he's already made the move stick before the braking zone, and he just covers him off under braking. It's gone really wide, however, and that's allowing Luca Townsend to take that position straight back. Bit of contact between the two of them, just side on side. Is Powell going to get him under braking again? He's put his nose there, but no, Luca's defending that position straight back, so great driving from the Chevrolet. Further back, looks like Declan Evans getting onto the back of the battle for 7th place that was mainly dominated by Ashley Field and Jake Ewan, and looking to get himself involved. He gets a real slide on through those as he clipped the curb with that Chevrolet. Get ready to slowly getting away and moving away from Callum Kirkpatrick, as you see the feet climbing at the bottom left of your graphics. And apparently Jake Ewan has made it to 208 miles per hour in this race, which I don't think is quite right, but if he has, then that explains why he's putting Field under so much pressure, so fair play. further back. It looks like Ben is now really getting onto the back of the Chevrolet Pop and Grow Racing Chevrolet of Andrew Lawrence. Ben did start the season in the Mercedes-Benz but decided to make a switch late on into the TCR, and he seems so much stronger in it. Now, as we can see, currently the best lap of the race is being held by Ryan Powell, so looking to make those positions up from 5th place is really helping him to get some extra points in the bag. As you can see, the top 5 will spread out a little bit, however it does look like they're getting caught by 6th place as well. Nathan Rutherford getting in on the action, so but they're all kind of got enough of a gap to keep their positions by the look at. The only possible move made could be Ryan Powell on Luca Townsend into turn 1 again. HRS Racing, hi, hello, welcome. Ryan Powell on the outside, under braking. He's going to keep on to that position. He's going to have to hold it round there, potentially go for a cutback, but Luca Townsend's defend the inside position well. Ryan's going to try and keep the inside line going into turn 2. Under braking, bit of contact between the pair of them, and Powell looks like he's making it stick, but Luca's still holding on to that inside line on the right-hander. Brilliant racing from these two, both highly regarded in OMA. So go into the next turn, that's it. Ryan Powell's finally made that move, stick under braking into the left-hander, and he's now going to keep that position and try and make the move back up to catch on to 3rd place as he makes his charge for the podium. Further back, Jake Ewan has dropped off slightly and has got Declan Evans all over the back of him trying to take his position. As I say that, Deck looked like he ran a bit wide, and Ashley Field is now on the back of Nathan Rutherford. Now he's got that gap behind him for Jake Ewan, so we'll get into the later laps and it's all heating up again. So I'll switch over and see if Ashley Field looks to make a move potentially down the inside under braking, but Rutherford's going to close that door. Bit of contact between the pair of them. Rutherford's got the inside line into the left-hander, and Ashley Field's just going to have to tuck him behind. Fastest lap of the race now is held by Callum Kirkpatrick. So that fastest lap point that was held by Powell is now taken away from him from Kirkpatrick, who is not really making moves on Braley at the moment. So it looks like the top 2 is pretty sorted. 3rd place at the moment for Phil Garside looks like it's going to be the best he can do. So Powell and Townsend continue to battle it out, meaning they're not going to be catching up onto 3rd place anytime soon, but set them up for a good. So Ashley Phil goes really wide on the exit of the final turn. It's going to give Nathan Rutherford a real advantage. Driftstar 162, can I get a shout out to Track Stug 77? That's my boy there from Track Bliss. No worries, let's go and see how your boy is doing, mate. He's currently sat down in 19th. I think he had a bit of a contact early on, looked to drop off slightly, but he's going around quite nicely by the looks of it. It's only his 2nd race with us, with his very artistic, crunchy designed track Garside. Move away back up, so at the moment Garside sat in very decent 3rd place. He's held on to position for quite a while. See behind them actually, Ryan Powell and Luca Townsend is on side by side yet again, going through the lefts and rights. Around the outside goes Townsend. He's going to make that one stick, get that position straight back from him. It's a good move for him. Behind them it looks like Nathan Rutherford is having to defend heavily from Ashley Field. Had his chance, looked to make the cut. Tell Garside we have his skips as the deal. I will let him know as soon as I can, mate. Welcome. So, recap of our top 10 as it stands. We've got Jack Braley followed by Callum Kirkpatrick, Phil Garside in 3rd place. 4th is Luca Townsend, held under a heavy attack from Ryan Powell. 6th at the front of this four-man train is Nathan Rutherford, followed closely by Ashley Field. Jake Ewan in 8th, 9th is Declan Evans, and then in 10th is still Andrew Lawrence. Still holding off the Danish driver of Ben Berenson, who is sat in 11th, and behind them is kind of a lone drive of Connor Ambrose, and then a bit of a battle going on for 13th place, but we make our way back to see how the fight for 6th is going. As you can see, Declan Evans looks like he's got a good run on the inside of Jake Ewan in the background there to see if Deck can make that one stick for the position of 8th, but that Mercedes-Benz down the line is going to get a run on Ashley Field, who looks like he's been swallowed definitely by Ewan, and is Evans going to make a move down the inside into turn 1? It looks like he is. Evans is making no hesitation having a go at that move. The 5% ballast held by that Honda is definitely making him struggle, and Declan Evans has taken that position away from his stable mate, and that's going to now put Jake Ewan under a bit more pressure as he's got a non-ballasted car that's going to be the one to fight with. Merc is the way. We've made it a little bit slower down the straight, but gave it a bit more of grip, and it seems to have really balanced it out. Jake Ewan's done wonders with the car this season, still in the title fight, of course. Of course, this battle that's going on for 7th place, has now given Nathan Rutherford a gap as Declan Evans makes his move on Jake Ewan onto the left-hander, the right-hander, of Arabriata. He's made that stick a bit of a robust move, bit of contact, and potentially got Jake Ewan now going up his inside again, going into the next right-hander of Scarperia. Ashley Phil's just waiting for these two to really make a mistake and try and gain a place as a result. Great battle going on between these three. Ashley Phil's now going down the inside of his stablemate, looking to get the position back that was taken from him earlier on. Ash is in Foxy, no, as in MCE Fireball. Used to be GBR Expert a few years back, I believe it was. Looks like Ash had to let that position go, and he's fallen back a little bit, so let's just release Evans now to try and get the attack on Ewan, but Ewan's getting away and looking to fight and hunt down the STR Chevrolet of Nathan Rutherford. Make our way back towards the front of the grid. We can see it's still Jack Brady, followed by Callum Kirkpatrick. Garside on his own in 3rd. 4th is Luca Townsend with a bit of a gap back to Ryan Powell. We're going to stick with this battle for 7th place. Just seeing the battle potentially between Lawrence and Berenson is really heating up for 10th place. Berenson really want to get into the top 10 with that TCR. That Merc is really nice. The Ewan's one, yeah, definitely the BCR one, made by Stephen Cumming. Really smart livery. It's not often that we give him credit, but, you know. I got his numbers on my Chevy. We go back to the front, we can see, that Callum Kirkpatrick has got right onto the back of Jack Brady now, as they're going into the final lap after a few more turns. Could see a late move for the lead. Shame about that BCR bit low, but car's nice. Ah, that's harsh, but I'll leave it. I'm not going to get involved. Make our way through the final turn. Jack Brady still holding on to 1st place. Nah, no man, it's all good. I'm only messing with you. You're all good. So we enter final lap. Jack Brady holding on to 1st place from stable partner of Callum Kirkpatrick. It's going to be between these two for the lead. Not going to switch away from this pair. Ahead of them, it is behind them. Sorry, it is extremely clear that it's going to be as a dive down the inside by Kirkpatrick into turn 1. Brady's going to want that position straight back, but under braking, Brady's going to hold the outside line. Is Kirkpatrick going to give him the space? It looks like he is, but Kirkpatrick has made that one stick. Final lap move. Now it's all up to Jack Brady. Is he going to make the move back through any of the turns? He's going to have to probably sit behind him through the next left, right. Potentially next move is going to be going into the final corner between these two, to be honest. But Kirkpatrick is looks like he just switched up a gear, and he's already getting a gap on Brady. So this could be all over for Jack Brady after leading from turn 1. Looks like on the final lap he's going to have that position stolen away from him by Callum Kirkpatrick. Brady's now kissed the gravel on the outside on the exit of Arabriata 2, so that's really now confirmed it that it's going to be 1st place for Callum Kirkpatrick unless a mistake is made. So We're going to stick with this battle for the lead, but Callum Kirkpatrick looks like it's a big lock-up into the long right-hander. Brady's going to have to rely on that acceleration in that Chevrolet Cruze to try and get a run on him, but into the left and the right of the final chicane. Callum Kirkpatrick, great drive from the Scotsman. It looks like he's going to get the win. Brady's going to be so disappointed he gave that one up on the last lap. Round in the final corner. Race 1 looks like it's going to be taken by Kirkpatrick. Brady's going to try and get a run on him, but it's not going to be enough. Race down to the line, not closing on him enough, and now it's Callum Kirkpatrick with the win. Second place goes to Jack Brady, third for Phil Garside, fourth does go to Luca Townsend, fifth for Ryan Powell. Making way down to the line, you can see it's going to be sixth for Nathan Rutherford, seventh going to stick with Jake Ewan, eighth for Ashley Field, ninth for Declan Evans, 10th is going to go Andrew Lawrence, 11th is Ben Berenson, 12th is Conor Ambrose, who caught up with those two at the end. Ali Johnson takes 13th, 14th is going to be Kieran McKeldon, 15th for James Allen, 16th for Mark Ruddock. Going through 17th is going to be Robert Newman, and then the battle for 18th between Stephen Cumming and Stug, 77. It's going to be held, and then Shane Bellotti coming around the final corner now after having to make a early pit stop due to damage. He's going to hold on to 20th place, obviously being the last car on there, and he will be getting his 1 point for the championship for doing so. So despite that pit stop, he's managed to get his solitary points, so it always counts finishing. So great drive from the real drive real praise has to go to Callum Kirkpatrick for that win. I'm going to see if I can get, because I know that Kirkpatrick doesn't like to do interviews, but I'm going to see if I can get Jack Brady in after that one. Jack, welcome.
Hello.
You don't see... What happened? You look like you had
Ran
that
a
in the
bit
bag.
wide. Ran a bit wide. The tyres just went after lap 10. Struggled. Ran a bit wide going up the hill. Gave Callum half a second to gain on me pretty much, and going into the first corner it was just a move down the inside and I couldn't shut it off in time and couldn't get the cut back as I had just no grip in the tyres, so a bit gutted with that one.
No, definitely. Watching that, I kind of just managed to catch that overtake from Callum. It looked like you had run wide, but it's still second place, definitely a good result, obviously. But
Yeah,
I can tell you're disappointed.
It's another podium. It's good points, but I do want to win before the season's out. I feel that I've had opportunities to win a race, I just haven't got it all the way to the end. So, but hopefully, race 3, I can do something when I've lose the ballast. Hopefully.
Yeah, of course. Well, commiserations, but well done again. Second place, good result, like you say. But we definitely all thought you had that in the bag. But
yeah.
Hopefully, like you say, not race 2, definitely look to get a decent result. Race 3, hopefully the ballast doesn't screw you over too much. You still got your starts.
Yeah, still got the starts. I'm surprised about my starts. I managed to nail it in that lap.
You did, definitely.
Fourth to first.
Yeah.
So,
well,
definitely got the starts.
Well done again. And
thank you.
Good luck for race 2, mate. All right.
Yep. Cheers. Bye.
So, you can tell, not exactly happy with the results, but he's happy at the same time for a second place, so it's kind of up and down with that one. Now, we'll have the host, funnily enough, got booted from his own race good old Forza. So at the moment, as you can see, Connor is being put as the lobby host, but more than likely, not sure whether he'll keep on to that. I'll see if I can find out quickly now. But yeah, don't, do stay in, do keep an eye. There's going to be a little bit of a break or a little bit of a rest quickly whilst we get ready for race 2, and hopefully we'll have a race just as good with that one. Esports ready? Yeah! I know. Of all the people to get booted from the lobby, it's the guy whose lobby it is. How does that even work? How do you even think of that being a logical thing to happen, Forza? Nice one, turn 10. Well done. Need you to stream one of our WTCs. He races. Very good commentary. Thank you, man. I mean, this is my... this is my 7th week of doing it, in all honesty. Because I literally just started it for this season, so I do appreciate the feedback, obviously. Let me know when it is and I'll see what I can do, in all honesty. Alright, whilst we're waiting, let's see who else we can get in. I reckon we could possibly get Garside, get his opinion on that race. Oh, he would be appearing offline, wouldn't he? Read the comments to Garside, please, already. Alright, I'll see, I'll see what I can do. Where? I really need to reduce down the amount of people I have on my friends list because it's just a pain to try and find the person I want in. Alright. Garside, are you there?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, mate, you alright?
So, yeah, I just want to get, one, your opinion on the race, and two, there is a load of people in the chat. We've got
Oh no.
Driftstar1627, Track Sabine, all of them, all wanting to...
I thought my fan base tonight, Stephen, I'm telling
man.
you.
Yeah, it's good.
No, I'm joking, mate. They asked me what
Track
time's the
Bliss,
race,
that's
and I
what
said
it is.
half 8. I didn't realise that they're all going to come along.
Yeah, they've been cheering you on. One of them said that they had some, I think it was skips for you. Might have been It was some.
Oh, it's a joke from way back. They said if I give you a packet of skips and a fiver, I said I'd join track. I took the skips and a fiver, but I didn't join track. So they hold a grudge against me. Oh no!
I've also been told to say congratulations on the team track signing as well. All right.
Oh, sure, Nathan's not going to be too happy with that listening to this, is he? Oh God, I'm getting ripped.
Whilst they're having a laugh in the chat, I wanted to get your opinion. Third place. How do you feel?
Yeah, it's all right to be honest. I expected to be less, if I'm honest. I thought when out into turn one of the first lap, sorry, I thought I was going to be fifth or below, given obviously the Audi's not so great off the start. So I was happy to hold second, but Callum just found a way through. I made a little error and let him through, and then I just settled to third, to be honest. So I'll take that. It's good. I've made points, inroads onto Ash and who's the lad behind me. Is it Luca?
Yes.
Yeah, so I've made a few more points all on them two, but it's just going to be difficult from now on. Hopefully I'll just get rid of this ballast in race 2 and then have a good race 3 to finish off with, hopefully.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, they're saying now that you've got illegal TV settings, mate. Any care to comment?
Oh, I don't have a clue what they're on about. I don't know. I'll go and speak to them.
Well, I'll let you go back. They were begging me to. Oh, sorry. Track Sabine says, how do you feel being slow? Hey, you came third, man. What do you mean?
Oh, come on. I'll tell you what.
Came
tell
third.
Aaron to get his ass here next season and tell me that it's slow. That car I've got is one of the slowest. Come on.
Third ain't.
Give me some credit.
Ah, they're ripping
Exactly.
the car, mate. I'll let you run off before it gets any worse.
Nice one. Yeah, cheers, Stephen, mate. I'll see you later, lad.
Congrats on third. Good luck for race 2, mate.
Cheers, mate.
He's gone now. I'm gonna have to make sure I don't do any more interviews with anyone because you guys are gonna tear everyone apart. So apologies at the moment while there is a delay. I'm glad you guys are enjoying yourself in the chat there. Just got to see what's going on with the lobby because it is being said that the lobby's going to be restarted, but I think it's just... it's all good, Aaron. So, you say you know each other outside the racing. Obviously, I know roughly where Garside live. Do you live nearby to him as well, Aaron? This one, I'm in Kent. Oh, okay, that's fair. So it wasn't until this season. Obviously, I've raced with Garside quite a few times, but it wasn't until this season. It actually turns out I come do him only 40 minutes for it. I'm really close to him as well, and I didn't realise. So it's quite funny how it all happens, really. 40 minutes in which direction? Bliss, isn't it? Basing. Oh, you're right. Okay, yeah. I was on the phone 10 minutes before this race. Oh, cool. All right, that explains why you've all come in here to do it. Hello, Deck. No, man. Okay, so again, apologies for the delay, but yeah, we are going to be switching lobbies back to our original host. Hopefully, Turn 10 doesn't go no and boot him out of his own race again, but yeah. So yeah, I really apologise for the delay. Glad you guys are all in there having a good time anyway. So yeah, do bear with us, alright guys? Right. This... Extremely sorry as to why this has taken so long. Glad to see you guys are having fun in the chat anyway. Garside's having fun by the looks of it. Question though, is that Jeff or Hef? Just want to clarify. Jefe. Jeff. No, that didn't really answer the question though, did it? Hef. Thank you. Thank you, Ben. Nemen. Nemen. That's it, Ben. That's what we want to see. Get your boiling glass in here. Aha, bum drop, come at me, lol. Quite possibly the greatest game in Turkey. Need to change the ART bit, that's history now. Yeah, I mean, you could just start painting, Ben. Save you having to change your name then. Just start doing some Bob Ross style painting. I forgot the word for painting then. Just picture you stood in front of a canvas, mate, just like, no man, this is a pretty tree, you know? Picasso bum drop. No, art, mate. It's hey, you guys carry on in the chat. It's good. I don't mind. If anything comes up that is reported as offensive, I can do something about it, and I haven't, so it's all good. So, reverse grid draw, as you can see, has put Andrew Lawrence, Dolphin Turbo, on pole. Alongside him is Declan Evans, and then behind them, you've got the Honda of Ashley Field, now no longer carrying ballast. Now the Chevys will get... well, you don't need to push that. The Chevys will get a good start, guaranteed. But Ashley Field and that Honda is going to be dangerous to look out for. He's got real pace around this track. He just wasn't able to show it in race 1 with the ballast he was having to carry. Going to probably have to look back to see the push through the grid that the ballasted driver is going to be, which is of course Garside, Brayley and Kirkpatrick for coming into the top 3. But regardless, it's going to be a close one. Go on, Stug 700, you got these, you know this track, and Chevy. Stug is not in the Chevy, buddy. I'm sure he'll appreciate the praise anyway. So, here we go. Like I say, Andrew Lawrence first, Declan Evans, Ashley Field and Jake Ewan. Then behind them you've got Nathan Rutherford, Ryan Powell, Luca Townsend, and then Phil Garside. Jack Brayley and Callum Kirkpatrick rounds out the top 10. What will I have words with him about that? There were no Chevys left. There were no Chevys left because we do set a cap on how much of each car can be picked, unfortunately. But I know. Keeping going back, we have got Ben Berenson, Connor Ambrose, Ali Johnston, and Kieran McKeldon. Then you've got James Allen, Mark Roddick, Robert Newman, Stephen Cumming, Stuart Robson, and Shane Bellotti in 20th, and that is it. I have him the Audi tune and that Chevy tune. Okay. So, let's see your boy getting his warm-ups going. Nah. Number 77, Crunchy Audi. Obviously, it's just the warm-up lap. Predictions for winner of this race, and you can't all just say Garside because you're funny. Sixth will win. You reckon? You reckon Ryan Powell in his Audi is going to win? Alright. You just picked a random number, or do you actually think he's got it? I don't mind either way. He needs to get rear tyres warm because it's sketchy on lap 1. Yeah. Oh yeah. Lol, totally random. Fair enough. Well, if 6th wins, I'll buy you those skips that you've given to Garside. How's that sound? Sabine for this win. He's not even in the race, man. Come on. I'm going to message all the boys, let him win. So, onto the grid we go. We can see the Chevrolets in first and second. Definitely expect those two to keep those positions off the start, unless they bog down, which can happen, obviously. Prediction for turn 1. I don't see Ashley Field holding on to third place. With only except Skips and Fergs on Team Track, for God's sake. So it looks like the final car's getting into position at the back of the grid. I believe that's Shane Bellotti in the Velocity Racing TCR. So revs to climb. Who's going to get away well? You can see Nathan Rutherford's pointing towards the middle there. And we are underway for race 2. That looked like a decent start from the two Chevrolets, but it looks like the better start actually went to Nathan Rutherford, who's already got himself past Jake Ewan and already past Ashley Field, so he's already up into third. Andrew Lawrence has taken the inside line. He's going to hold on to first place, apart keeping it away from Declan Evans. Behind them, looks like everyone's got through safely. One car looked like it ran slightly wide, but it's all going through okay. Looking at the map, can't see anyone going wide at all, so decent getaway for the Chevrolet of Andrew Lawrence. Behind him, it's still Declan Evans. Third is Nathan Rutherford. Chevrolet 1, 2, 3, 4 is Ashley Field in his Honda. He's done well to keep hold of fourth, considering the poor starts that Honda does get. Fifth is Luca Townsend, also a Chevrolet. Then you've got Jake Ewan in sixth. Seventh is Jack Braley. He's already made 2 positions off the start, so a great getaway for him. Behind him is Ryan Powell in 8th, so you've already jinxed him. You said he was 6th place was going to win, but he sat here at the back of this queue in 8th place, tucked in behind the Chevrolet of Jack Braley. Right, to start with, we can see that we can see that Declan Evans is looking to make a move on the inside of Andrew Lawrence, going up Arabiata. Elbows out, little bit of a touch, but it looks like he's kept it on the track, and I don't think he's possibly going to get him under braking into turn into the left-hander. Is Andrew Lawrence going to keep it on the inside going into the left-hander as well? It's going to be close between the pair of them. A bit of contact behind them. It looked like Townsend got a little nudge and ended up into the gravel. Behind them, it's all coming through cleanly. Actually, Fields making his way up the inside, trying to follow Declan Evans through it into second place. Going to go side by side into the chicane. I think Lawrence is just going to back off, sit behind him, and that's a move done by Ashley Fields. That is 2 positions gained. 2 positions lost, sorry, for Andrew Lawrence on lap 1. Looks like he's going to straight away look to get back past Ashley Field, but he's ran quite wide. Not sure if there was any contact there. I couldn't quite see from that camera angle. We make our way down the straight at the end of lap 1. We can see it is Declan Evans sat in first place. Second is Ashley Field. Third is Andrew Lawrence. Fourth is Nathan Rutherford. Fifth is Jake Ewan. Sixth is Luca Townsend. Seventh is Ryan Powell. Eighth is Jack Brady. Ninth is Phil Garside. 10th is Ali Johnston. And 11th is Kieran McKinnon. Ash looked like he was going to make a move into the turn as they're 3 wide behind them as Nathan Rutherford puts himself in front of both Jake Ewan and Andrew Lawrence. But Lawrence looks like he's managed to hold on to third place. A decent defender from him, and that's just bunching everyone up behind him as they all were going 3 wide, slowed them down massively. It looks like Callum Kirkpatrick's dropped back quite a bit now. He's found himself in 14th place after starting from near the front. You can see Carl really bunching up. Side by side there between Luca Townsend and Jake Ewan. Powell's trying to follow Townsend through as well. Going to hang it round the outside of the Mercedes, but I think the Mercedes is just going to slot in between the two of them and hold that position. But it looks like he got a little bit wide on the curb. He's going to try and make the move on Townsend, not quite, and that's now allowing Powell to get a run on his inside and under braking. He's going to make that one stick. Great move, opportunistic by the Welshman. Back to the front. Declan Evans and Ashley Field are getting away from the battle forming behind Andrew Lawrence. So these two are just going to try and get away. They are part of the same team, but not team mates, so to speak, so they'll both be fighting each other. Going back, Lawrence is still holding on to 3rd place. He's got Luca Townsend all over him trying to get that place. You can see one of his title rivals getting away, and Townsend will not want that to happen. Behind them it looks like Rutherford is now holding on to the train. That is just the cork in the bottle. With Ryan Powell, Brayley, Garside and Kieran McKelder up into 9th from, I believe he was down in 14th at the start, so he's done well to get up through there. You can see Rutherford's ran out quite wide, and that's allowing Powell to take that position away from him. Under acceleration, looks like the Chevrolet's going to hold it along the outside, which will be the inside for turn 1, but down the straight, that Audi is just holding its own. I don't think the Chevrolet's going to get him possibly under braking, however. Powell's going to give him the room, but just slots in, and you can see how bunched up they're all getting behind there. Looks like somehow they're all getting through safely. No one's ended up in the gravel quite yet. Just have a quick check, see how Garside's doing. Currently sat in 8th place. Just watching the guys in front of him battle side by side. Behind him he has got... That is Ali Johnson all over the back of him, looking to try and find a space. It looked like Ali ran a little bit wide there, so Garside is on his own to try and get through and make moves on those ahead of him. As you can see, Brayley and Rutherford going side by side through the right-hander just for a little bit, and Brayley had to back off and get behind. Garside is now just looking to opportunistically find the gap. Back to the front, we can see Declan Evans is still holding Ashley Field behind him in his Laser Tool Chevrolet. Doing well, these two, to get away, as Luca Townsend is getting his gap from Andrew Lawrence. He's going to try and get to these two and make it a 3-man battle. You can have a look and see the fastest lap at the moment is held by Declan Evans, as he's also gone the fastest on track at 165 miles per hour. That looks more like it, not the 208 that was apparently done by Jake Ewan in race 1, which good old Forza making something wrong. Just watching the guys in front of him battle side by side. Behind him he has got... That is Ali Johnson all over the back of him, looking to try and find a space. It looked like Ali ran a little bit wide there, so Garside is on his own to try and get through and make moves on those ahead of him. As you can see, Brayley and Rutherford going side by side through the right-hander just for a little bit, and Brayley had to back off and get behind. Garside is now just looking to opportunistically find the gap. Back to the front, we can see Declan Evans is still holding Ashley Field behind him in his Laser Tool Chevrolet. Doing well, these two, to get away, as Luca Townsend is getting his gap from Andrew Lawrence. He's going to try and get to these two and make it a 3-man battle. You can have a look and see the fastest lap at the moment is held by Declan Evans, as he's also gone the fastest on track at 165 miles per hour. That looks more like it, not the 208 that was apparently done by Jake Ewan in race 1, which good old Forza making something wrong. Going further back, Ryan Powell is now up into 4th place. Got past Andrew Lawrence, and he's now going to try and hunt down those ahead of him. Just going to have to try and be careful, make sure that Lawrence doesn't get a move onto him into the first turn again. Behind them you can still see it's a real train forming, as it's Jack Brady, Phil Garside, Ali Johnston, Kieran McKellar up down into 10th. 11th is Ben Berenson, 12th is Callum Kirkpatrick, then you've got Conor Ambrose and Jake Ewan side by side down the straight. Is that the person who was 6th? Person who was 6th was Ryan Powell, Ryan GTI. See Conor Ambrose having to defend the inside line from Jake Ewan into turn 1. That Mercedes' superior straight line speed really helping him out to try and get the attack, and Ewan may be able to get it into the left hand, and no, looks like Ambrose is going to hold him off. Bit of a slide there it looked like from Ewan, so that's going to give a little bit of breathing space. Further forward we can see Ali Johnson side by side with Phil Garside. You want to know where the person who was 6th is? He is sat 4th place, right there. Phil Garside's just dropped off the back of 7th place now. Still under attack from Ali Johnson, and if anything, oh, he has got this. Garside gets overtaken, he could possibly find himself swallowed by quite a train of cars here, in all honesty. I need help still with that Audi, man. How is he getting on? Let's check how he is doing. He is 20th, mate. So, up to you. You can help him if you want. No problem with that whatsoever. Back to the front, it is still Declan Evans defending heavily from Ashley Field. Now this could be slowing Ash down enough to allow Luca Townsend back into this fight. You can see Luca is slowly gaining on him. He's currently holding the fastest lap of the race as well. Ash will be really stuck. What is the next track, please? Next track is Silverstone National. 1 week time. Yeah, as I was saying, Declan Evans holding off Ashley Field. Ash will know that it's Luca coming down and slowly gaining on the pair of them, and he will not want Luca to be getting any points on him whatsoever. Inside line defence from Evans, and Ash is going to hold it around the outside, look to get the inside line into the left-hander of Lugo, but Evans has held on to that place. So we see behind, just checking on the map, can see there's 3 cars wide again into turn 1. Looks like Johnston, McKeldin, and I think Garside has, as I kind of expected, looks like Garside has been overtaken by Johnson, and that's also allowed Kieran McKeldin to get the attack on him as well. Garside now having to really defend from McKeldin. McKeldin's going to try and hang it around the outside. He's just caught his core. Bit of a contact there. Looked like the pair of them got a bit attached, and now Garside is under attack from Ben Berenson. It's slowed him down massively, and he's under attack from everyone at this point. All bunched up behind him. Berenson's just got through. He's got Kirkpatrick, Ewan and Ambrose, it looks like, all swamping behind him, and those two, it looks like Kirkpatrick and Ewan are going to go side by side as Garside immediately makes a move on the inside of Berenson going up. They go 3 wide, and Berenson just has to yield, and Kirkpatrick, through all of this, has gained all these places. Further forward we can see Ashley Field and Declan Evans looking like they're still battling side by side as they went into the chicane, but Ash has backed off and it's given a bit of breathing room for Evans. But back to the battle behind Garside, who's now dropped down to 11th. Still got Ambrose and Ewan all over him. The ballast he's carrying on that car is really damaging him. Bit of a lock up there, it looked like, from Mark Ruddock as he puts himself in front of Ambrose and slotted himself behind Phil Garside. The pair of them are going to try and slipstream their way down. How much time does 5% power loss affect you a lap? It depends, but roughly about 5 tenths if you're really on it. Do you guys drop power for ballast? Yeah, we do a 5% power handicap. At the moment only the top 3 are affected. Apologies. Mark Ruddock has made a move on Garside down the straight, holding it around the outside. As you can see behind them, it looked like that was James Allen going on the inside of... Yeah, it hurts all the cars. Yeah. The only car that gets affected probably the least would be the Chevrolet, but the Chevrolet, it definitely does slow it down on the straights, but it's probably the one that's least affected, but it is still about the same. We did toy with, in testing, we did toy with like handicapping other parts, but it just made it way too much. That's RS3 the most. Mercedes, actually. At least we found the Mercedes, it affected it massively because the Mercedes has no acceleration anyway. Yeah. So because it has no acceleration, it doesn't have a saving grace at all. Whereas at least I think the TCR is mid only because RS3 has the most horsepower. Yeah. Like I said, I think on the long straights it definitely affects the TCR. Oh yeah, the grip loss was horrific. I think it was losing people like 2 seconds in testing. I'm like, well, that's not a thing. Not doing that. Anyway, back to check in the battle at the front, and Ashley Field has got past Declan Evans and is now just going to try and escape. Maybe use Evans as a buffer in front of Luca Townsend. Evans is definitely going to want this win as well. The Honda down the straight isn't really its strong point, so don't expect the Merc slow on acceleration. Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely. The top 7, well, other than the battle for first, the top 10 look pretty solid. Looking back, you've got Ben Berenson now down in 15th, is side by side with Alan and Robert Newman, the three of them all battling into turn 1. Alan going a little bit wide, that's allowing Ben Berenson up the inside, which will be the outside for the left-hander. He can hold it there, he's going to have the inside for the right. There it is, moved by Berenson, good move by the Danish man. Luca Townsend has really slowly getting onto the back of the leading pair. And you can see Evans is dropping off of field slightly, so whether there's been a discussion between teammates to back him off slightly. How do you know Ferguson ever in top 3? Oh, shade in the chat, boys. Come on. He's just a boy. Ryan Powell, you're a 6th place starter, sat in 4th at the moment, just on his own, not much going on for him. I'll check him out for you. There you see, just kind of plodding along. Potentially, if the guys ahead of him start battling heavily, which looks like it could happen soon, he could get back with them, but it's with about 4 laps to go. It's not looking likely he's going to really be able to put a challenge. Further back, anything major going on? Looks like they're all kind of getting settled down after the melee that was going on. Mark Ruddick down in 20th, so something's gone on with him because he was battling heavily for the position with Conor Ambrose and a couple others, so something's gone on with him, which unfortunately we did miss. So you can see Luca Townsend all over the back of Declan Evans down the straight. Both of them in their Chevrolets, but both from different setups, different teams, so they're going to have completely different tunes on them. Looks like he is catching me. Yeah, maybe not enough. No, I wouldn't say so. Again, if these two battle like they look like they will be now, it could bring him into the mix, but as you can see, Evans parking it on the apex, not letting Townsend through. Townsend giving a little bump in the back just to let him know he's there, and that's allowing Ashley Field to really get away now. This race really could turn into a messy one if these two start battling side by side and allow Powell to get back into it, but Ashley Field disappearing. You can see Garside at the top there, he's lost 5 places during the race. Again, it's just the way it goes sometimes. Battle for 5th, looks pretty solid. We've got Kieran McKeldin in 10th, holding off the attack from Conor Ambrose, who's wanting to break into the top 10 again. But again, there's not really much to say at the moment. It's not going to be like race 3, which we expect to be a manic one. Yeah, Luca Townsend at the moment is the main threat. Declan Evans and Luca both with pretty much similar cars, but again, slightly different setups, being part of different teams, so it's all going to come down to that really, and also if either of them can make a mistake. Luca Townsend is of course the reigning champion with that number 1 on the side of his car. He's won the last 2 seasons running. Declan Evans has never been a driver's champion here at OMA. He's won a couple of team championships as part of different setups, but he's one of those experienced drivers. He's been here since race 1 of season 1, and we're currently in season 19, race 22, so sorry, race 20, good counting. He definitely knows how to drive. He's always had something going on that's he's always had such bad luck, really. You can see he's just parking himself on the inside line. Doing the BTC every week. Well, this will be going on every week. It's not the same, but it's something. Again, Evans is parking that apex, keeping that position away from Townsend. You can tell Townsend is going to do all he can to get that 2nd place. You can see Ashley Field getting away. He's not going to catch him, but he needs those extra few points that all add up. He's holding on to the fastest lap of the race at the moment, so he's getting that 1 bonus point for that anyway. But further back, Two cars side by side. That looks like Ben and James Allen again, the pair of them battling away. Kieran McKellen's still holding off Conor Ambrose for the top 10. So it looked like someone dropped back quite a bit then. Couldn't quite see what happened. Definitely something went on at the top of the screen. Could just be the fact that... not sure what's going on in all honesty. Still, we're going to stick with Townsend. He's just getting a nose, just trying to look on the inside. Evans is really defending this position well. He's doing a great drive from the Englishman. Keeping a two-time champion behind him, that's great. It's going to really boost his confidence. Surprisingly, with this going on, Powell is not getting himself in the mix. So it looks like these three are going to keep... Well, these two mainly are going to keep battling out for second place, and that's going to decide the final two podium positions, but I don't see, unless something major happens, I don't see Powell getting involved now. There's not enough laps left. But we're still looking at Ashley Field, currently first place, going to hold on to this one by the looks of it. It's all kind of done and dusted. Declan Evans really defending heavily for second place away from Luca Townsend. Fourth is Ryan Powell, fifth is Andrew Lawrence, sixth is Nathan Rutherford, seventh is Jack Brady, eighth is Ali Johnson, 9th for Callum Kirkpatrick, and 10th is Kieran McKelden, who is still holding off both Conor Ambrose and now Jake Ewan. Conor looks like he's trying to go around the outside, going through the front turn. That's just allowed Jake Ewan down the inside, so possible mistake from him then. Back to the front, Luca Townsend still, he's went to go around the outside, and Evans has just again part that apex, taking that line away from him. Is he going to get him into the left-hander? Looks like a big lock-up from Townsend, but he's made the move. Stick, good move there, but Evans is just going to put a nose on the inside again, try and make the move back, but Townsend has potentially taken that position away from him. Just shuts the door on him, and that is now second place for Townsend. Evans in third. They're not going to catch Ashley Field now. He's got away, but Evans is parked up right in the rear bumper of Townsend, and he's just going to wait and see if he can make a move stick. He'll bide his time on Evans. He won't just dive for a position straight away. As we go up through Arrabbiata towards Scaperia, Ashley Field first. Second is Luke Townsend. He's just getting I was about to say he was going to get a bit of a gap there, but under braking, Evans closes it back up again. I'm going to switch away from these two just for a second to see where the battle's going on. It looks like still Kieran McKelden holding 10th place. But Jake Hooven is trying to hang around the outside, going through Scarperia and Palacio and going towards Corin Tau. It looks like a bit of contact potentially, but around the outside comes Ambrose in that S3. Jake Hooven is now having to watch out for him as well, as he just slots in behind Ewan going into the chicane. He didn't quite want to risk trying to go side by side. Going to draft him on that straight up inside turn one. Let's have a look and see what he can do, shall we? So they're making their way down. I don't think he's going to quite have the gap, you know. Looks like Townsend's just got enough pace in him to just make a little bit of a buffer for himself. So we're here on the final lap. Evans runs a little bit wide, but that Chevrolet is going to get the acceleration, trying to get a decent exit towards the left and right to go through the technical section here on Mugello. But it looks now like that position has been held. Decent defence put up by Evans, but we're going to stick with because it's still for the final position, podium position. Quick check behind, and Jake Owen has got himself past Kieran McKelden for 10th place. Quick peek to see what's going on there. I think McKelden is all over the back trying to find that gap again. Looks like he dives down the inside into the left-hander. Take that position straight back. Owen run a little bit wide, possibly, but he's put himself side by side. Conor Ambrose has to go fast down the right-hander. Left-hander now. Ambrose is still on the inside, but Ewan around the outside. He's going to potentially make that one stick back, and that Mercedes, a decent move from him. Back up towards the front. Declan Evans still sat third place. Again, great drive from Evans. Brave around the outside there. Oh, definitely. A good move from Ewan there to keep that one stick. No, made any mistake whatsoever, and he's into the gravel. There we go. Haven't really had a chance to look at him much after the first few opening lap melee. You can see Garside at the top of his screen jumped up into 12th, taking past Conor Ambrose. Ambrose is taking it right back, so we'll try and have a look at what's going on there. But Ashley Field, great drive from him. Takes that Honda. It said it would be quick, but takes first place here. Second is going to go to Luca Townsend. Third for Declan Evans. Fourth is going to be Ryan Powell. Fifth for the Dolphin. So we look for the battle for 10th. Looks like they're going to make it stick as is. It's going to be Kieran McKeldon. Oh, Jake Ewan's getting the run on the inside. He's just dived on him. I think McKeldon's lost out to Ewan on the final straight. Just slided in front of him. Possible mistake from McKeldon to let that one through. So Ewan ends up taking 10th place. 11th for Kieran McKeldon. 12th for Conor Ambrose. 13th for Phil Garso. 14th James Allen. 15th Ben Brenson. 16th for Norbert Newman. Stephen Cummins 17th. 18th for Shane Velotti. 19th is going to be Mark Ruddock. And 20th, not sure what's happened here, but in the wall, Stuart Robson. So not quite sure what's happened to him there. Really unfortunate that we missed that, and unfortunately that is, if it is a DNF, which it looks like it may be, he looks like he's completely out. But unfortunately that is not how you want that race to end. Back to the front, watch our race winner make it do his laps. So that's a win for Ashley Field. Let's see if we can get him. Ash,
Hello there.
first off, congrats on the win.
Thank you very much.
How care to comment, really, I think is the best way of putting it.
Well, it was all down to deck, really, because not so much being stuck behind him, but obviously we had a little squabble halfway through the race, and he decided to let me go because of Luca behind. And
I did think that's what was going on.
yeah, so I've already thanked him for that, but obviously he lost out to Luca in the end.
Yep.
But hey, that's the second win of the season. Finally
Finally got your second win.
It's taken me like 20 years to get that.
Yep.
But that win's all down to deck, 100%.
Well, I'll try and get Deck in a second. I'm going to speak to Luca first, but obviously now you're going to be carrying ballast for race 3. What's your target position ideally? I know it's not going to be a good one for you, but
top 10, easy.
going for top 10, yeah.
I say that before I get taken out. But yeah, top 10, because I know the car can do it.
No worries. Well, again, congrats on the win. Like you say, second one of the season. And good luck for race 3. Hopefully I'll have you in there as on another podium.
Well, we'll wait and see.
Cheers, right, no worries. Cheers. So he's put that down to Deck for giving up the position as he saw Luke coming in. So as I thought, there was a discussion made. As you can see in the background, something going on with that Honda, so I'm not going to question it. Luca. Hello there.
Hello.
Second
Hello.
place. Had to attack Deck for quite a while. How did well, just what your thoughts really?
Yeah, it was a really good defensive drive by Deck. Kept me behind for pretty much the whole race, but luckily managed to hold it around the outside at turn 1, which gave me the inside for turn 2. because he went a little bit deep into turn 1, so I capitalised on that. Managed to get him into turn 2, and then had to keep him behind for the next lap, but luckily got a bit of a gap. But at that point Ash was too far ahead, so I couldn't really catch him. And there was only about 1 lap to go, so it was just a case of bringing the car home, not making any mistakes. His deck was still behind me.
Of course.
Yeah, overall happy with the result.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, Ash did kind of get away, but what are you? Well, what are your goal for second race for third race now? I think is kind of the question. Obviously,
Well,
carrying
the
ballast.
race 3 is always very hectic, and adding ballast into the mix as well. It's going to be pretty tough getting through the pack, but my aim is just to keep ahead of Ash, so I'll be starting ahead of him. Just trying to stay ahead of him and see where we end up. Try and keep it clean. Try and capitalise on everyone else's mistakes. And hopefully end up somewhere towards the front.
No problem. Well, I'll let you go. I'll see you getting
Thank
ready for
you.
race 3. But congrats again on second place, and good luck for race
Yes.
3. Hopefully you don't end up in a wall, which I think is the safe thing to say for race 3.
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Have a good
Alright,
one.
cheers.
Good luck.
Cheers.
Right. Now I'm probably going to regret this one. But let's get Deck in here. Let's get a few words from our third place finisher. Hello, Deck. You are you are live. So please. How are you?
There we go.
Okay, yeah, include your audio.
Yeah,
Hello.
this is
First off, congrats on third place.
that was
Opinion,
intense.
really? What do you know? What do you want to say?
Luca was quick. Like Luca and Ash were both quick, and I had to let Ash pass because if I didn't leave Ash to go off and do his thing and whatnot, it would have slowed me and him down, and we could have potentially in the long run lost more positions. I know towards the end of the race Ryan was steaming up behind me, so I think letting Ash through was the right call to make to get where we were.
Yeah, he did say when
Ideally,
he came in,
I
he said
would have
that you let him through, and
yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
As I said, ideally I would have liked first or second, but
of course, a podium is definitely a podium.
I
That's a good
needed
result for you, mate.
I needed to do something. Otherwise, we would lose more positions.
I was saying that it was good defensive driving from yourself to keep Luca behind as long as you did, because he was coming at, like, he came up to you at a rate of knots, and then you just kept him behind for quite a few laps. And well, look, from what I could
I
tell,
thought
and
I
what
had
Luca
him,
said, look, it was
but
just
I made a
one mistake, and that's all it cost, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's what it
But-
was. It was one corner, and that was it.
No, congrats on your third place. Now I've asked this to the other two. I'll ask it to yourself. What is your goal for race 3, position-wise?
I've seen the reverse grid, and I know that it's not nice. So I'm hoping to at least get close to top 10.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Yeah, at least get close to it. I mean, as I said, it's going to be a huge. I won't say what it is. But it's going to be a huge change. Between the grids, so it's going to be there's going to be a lot of slow driving towards the front. It's going to hold a lot of people up, so I'll make do with what I can. But hopefully, I'll get top 10.
Oh well, I'll let you run off. Congrats again on your
Yeah.
third. their week. So here it is. 18th gets pole, meaning the top three from last race, Ashley Field, Luca Townsend and Declan Evans, have to start 18th, 17th and 16th respectively. Shane Bellotti gets the start from pole position alongside Stephen Cumming. Robert Newman in third and Ben Brenson in fourth. Garside sat in sixth is potentially going to be the one to watch. This could be quite the race. As it hasn't put me streaming, it hasn't put me spectating. Why has Forza done this? Good old Forza. Just back out and then spectate. Ah. You gotta love Forza, haven't you? Click spectate, man. I think they've... It looks like they've already seen that I have had an issue and they're all backing up by the looks of it. Good old turn 10. At least Ali's winning. Never mind. You'll all be glad to hear I'm getting abused in our chat, so... Well, it's made up for it. Alright, attempt number 2. I take full aim. No views yet, not past 10:30 watershed. Ah! So 20 minutes, so hopefully by the time this race is over I'll just be getting absolutely ruined. Oh, that sounds worse than I meant. Let's try again. Shane Bellotti, starting from pole for race 3. There we go, Forza. Jeez. Panicking again, they was going to have a mistake there. Good old Forza. Right. So like I said, Shane Bellotti is starting from pole. Second is Stephen Cumming. Third is Robert Newman. Fourth is Ben Berenson. Then we've got James Allen and Phil Garside in sixth. Garside will obviously be the one to watch after his heroics in race 1, but a bit of a disappointing race 2, so probably be looking to make it up here. Further back we've got Conor Ambrose in 7th, 8th is Kieran McKeldin, 9th is Jake Ewan, then Ali Johnson, then you've got Callum Kirkpatrick, our race 1 winner, sat in 11th place. Jack Brady, who finished behind him, is starting behind him in 12th. Then we've got Nathan Rutherford in 13th, 14th for Andrew Lawrence, 15th for Ryan Powell, who yet to get that podium in these last 2 races, been close. Is going to have to make his way back through the pack from 15th now. Behind him you've got our podium finishers from race 2. Declan Evans, who came 3rd, Luca Townsend, who came 2nd and 1st, obviously starting from 18th, of Ashley Field. Behind them you've got those that were unfortunate enough to not get the luck of the draw. You've got Mark Ruddock in 19th, 20th is of course Stuart Robson, who unfortunately did look like he had an incident at the end of the race, so he would have been starting from the back regardless, and of course Kyle Cully, who was disconnected from race 1 and has had to start missed race 2 and is now looking to make up for it with race 3 with a potential drive from last. Gonna get a last to first? I wouldn't put my money on it, but we know that Kyle can have the pace on the right when he's in the zone, so let's see what he can do. But back to the front, there's a real shot here for Shane Bellotti to get his first win in OMA. Hasn't even had a podium, has Shane, so I won't jinx him too much. In fact, we already have. But if we don't see him speared off into the gravel in turn 1, this could be something to watch. So be sure to stay tuned, obviously. He's slowing down the grid quite a lot now just to make it so he isn't going to be sat on the grid for too long for the start of the race. Get the final bit of heat in the tyres. You can see the Mercedes shaking around behind him, just trying to get some warmth. So there we go. Shane Bellotti starting from first, Stephen Cumming second, third is Robert Newman, fourth is Ben Lorenzen. Now looking back, seeing where the first of the Chevrolets are, it is 10th of Ali Johnson. So we, for the first time, may not see a Chevrolet first into turn 1 this time. I've said it, which means it's probably going to happen, but all the cars are lined up on the grid. Revs are climbing. And race 3 is underway, and that looked like a really poor start for the front two. Cumming is already sliding in behind Bellotti, who's looking like he's getting a good run, but Ben Lorenzen from fourth on the grid, is already on the long side. Bellotti, Stephen Cummings going to dive down the inside, they're going to make it 3 wide, potentially into turn 1, not quite. Bit of contact as we've got some cars going 4 wide there. Is anyone going to go off into the gravel? Looks like everyone made it through safely as they make their way into turn 2. Bellotti's still out in front from Ben Lorenzen. One car's going sideways and like a bit of puff of smoke in the background, but looks like they've somehow... No, someone has gone off. Who's made his way onto the gravel? It looked like it's Andrew Lawrence, unfortunately, so he's now going to have to make his way back through the pack, but with how bunched up they are, he should be able to get back through quite quickly. Got more trouble at the back of the pack is Robert Newman, but he's still going. We're going back to the front. It's Shane Bellotti from Ben Lorenzen. Stephen coming in third. Fourth looks to be Phil Garside. He's made up 2 places on the first lap already. Kyle Cully, you can see, is already up into 15th. He's already made up 6 places, so that could be interesting to see how that goes for him. But it's still Shane Bellotti, followed by Ben Lorenzen. Garside is now taking the outside line, getting past Stephen going into the final section, and he's got the inside line. That's 3rd place for Garside. He's put himself straight onto the podium, so decent drive for Garside to get himself started off. 4th is now, of course, Stephen Cumming. 5th is Jack Braley, who's got the train behind him of Ali Johnston, Jake Ewan, Nathan Rutherford, Kieran McKeld and Ryan Powers. All of the cars really. Someone has gone into the gravel. Can't see who that was, but someone definitely dropped back quite a bit there. We've got 5 cars all bunched up really closely in the background there. Somehow they're all making it through safely. It's like Calicut Patrick and Nathan Rutherford definitely were 2 involved in that. Make way back to the front. Shane Bellotti still holding on to 1st place. Decent drive from the Italian so far. Well, he's English with Italian heritage. There we go. So do we count this as his home race? Ben Lorenzen dives up the inside. Bit of contact as Shane Robustly's challenge keeps that position, but it's a TCR 1, 2, 3. Phil Garside slide in behind the pair of them, just waiting for some sort of gap to open up behind them. It's still Stephen Cumming who's having to hold off Jack Brady now in his Chevrolet, who's trying to make amends for what happened at race 1. Oh, looking at the map, something's gone on. Carl Cully, after making all those positions, has now dropped back, as well as Nathan Rutherford, who's gone to the back of the grid. Not sure what's going on there. He's got a bit of a contact on the back of him, but obviously couldn't see what happened, so I wouldn't like to judge and make an assumption there. But looking at it, Shane Belotti looks like he's actually getting a bit of a gap at the moment from Berenson, who's just holding up. Well, he's got the BCR Mercedes of Stephen Cumming holding up from third place backwards. There's just Garside and Braley both dive up Cummings inside onto the right-hander of Arabiata 2 going towards Scarperia. Garside's got the inside line into the braking zone, bit of a contact there under braking, and looks like Cummings gone out wide, and he's going to have to hold on to the position. Slots in behind Cummings, just in front of Ryan Powell, that looked like, who has got Kieran McKeldin for company as well. Back to the front, looks like it's Shane Belotti has been overtaken now by Ben Berenson. Not quite sure when that's happened, whether a mistake was made by Belotti, and Berenson, the Dane, is now heading the field. Belotti sat in second. Third place at the moment is Jack Brady, who's currently holding the fastest lap of the race. Jake Ewan holding on to fourth, looking to potentially follow Braley through no matter where he goes. Garside goes a little bit wide there. That's potentially going to open the door for Ali Johnston, who's also got Kieran McKeldin for company. Going down the straight, just see here that Ewan's going to try and get a tow from the back of that Chevrolet, but I don't think he's going to have quite enough, but it might happen into the braking zone. Looking further back, seeing if anything else has gone on. Looks like it's all calmed down now as the first opening few melee as someone went a bit wide there. That looked like that was McKeldin. Could have seen that wrong, however. McKeldin did look like he dropped back a little bit, and he's now slotted in next to Ryan Powell. Powell is taking the inside line for the right hand, and the two are just bumping doors. TCR on the S3. Powell is not giving up this one without a fight. He's just hanging it around the outside, hoping to get something, but he's going to have to be careful because he's got a Audi for a Chevrolet of Luca Townsend for company, who's made his way up to 9th from 17th, which is a decent drive, as is Tech 11's making his way to 10th. As Kieran McKeldin and Ryan Powell going side by side on the quick right-hander, down to the left and up towards Arabiata, and Powell's gone a little bit wide, and that's allowed Luca Townsend in. As you can see, Shane Blotty's now dropped down to third, putting Jack Brady in second. He's going to be on the chase for Ben Berenson now. But the real fight at the moment is this one for 8th. Where's my teammate Stug? Stug at the moment is sat in... bear with. Black screen of death, meaning someone has potentially been booted. I'm not sure what's going on. Let's see if I can see where Stug is for you. He is currently sat in 18th place, bud. It looks like the car that has gone is Nathan Rutherford, unfortunately. Yes, confirmed at the top of the screen there. So Rutherford has disappeared as Jake Owen has taken third place away from Belotti, as these cars are getting all feisty here. Ryan Powell's looking for space amongst the battle with Evans, Kirkpatrick, Ewan and Townsend. They're all kind of swamping that S3 as they're going through the chicane. S3 is going to potentially try and get a decent run down the straight. And speaking of decent run, Garside's got 5th place and he's fending it off Johnston and Belotti behind him. At the front it's still Ben Berenson from Jack Brady and Jake Ewan, as the looks like Belotti went a bit wide down to turn 1, and look at 6 of them all together. 3 wide going into the left-hander as Declan Evans has now put himself in a decent position. None of them want to back out, they all want that position. Powell hanging it around the outside. That's going to be a close one if he's going to get it. Look at the contact on the side of that Chevrolet held by Luca Townsend. It's calmed down a little bit as they all slot in 1 and 1 as it's Evans, apologies, Townsend, Belotti is not Belotti, Powell, Kirkpatrick and Ashley Field. This train forming it for 8th place as a car's gone wide. That's Jake Ewan who's touched the gravel. He's going to lose out potentially to Phil Garside up the hill. He's also, just tucked in behind Jack Brady, so it could have been Brady actually who got pushed back slightly, and that's just allowing Ben Berenson to get a little bit more of a gap. So as you can see at the top on the map there, it looked like another car has gone a little bit into the gravel, dipped a wheel in. That was Stephen Cummings. So after an early melee at the top 3, he's dropped himself down to 15th place. Gonna take a breath for a second. Back to the melee for 8th. Parked it. Ah, sorry to see that, Nathan. Didn't see what happened, mate, but I'm guessing it was race 3. Meh. I think is a safe way of putting it. Apologies for the silence for a bit there. Good old controller decided to die on me. Charge batteries before the racing, so apologies if there's now a bit of a buzz whilst I'm talking, but I've got to keep this going. So we make our way back to the front. You can see it's still Ben Branson in first place, second is Jake Huron, followed by Phil Garson in third. Jack Brady's all over the back of him looking for third place. Brady getting an inside line, going for the final turn. Is he going to keep that one? Looks like he's going to hold on to third with Garside on the outside. He can look to see if he can keep it there, but he's going to just slot in behind. Fifth is Ali Johnson, sixth is Kieran McKeldin, seventh is Luca Townsend, eighth for Callum Kirkpatrick, ninth for Declan Evans, 10th is Brian Powell, 11th for Ashley Field, Shane Bellotti now all the way down in 12th, 13th is James Allen, 14th is Stephen Cummin, 15th is Andrew Lawrence, 16th is Conor Ambrose, 17th is Robert Newman, but back to the front. Ben Brenson really holding on to that position. He's got to watch out because that BTC C52 of Jake Ewan is really trying to put the pace down to gain up with him. Quick mention for 6th place at the moment for Kieran McKeldin, who's at the moment holding off Luca Townsend. This is a great drive from him. He's never won an OMA touring car race. He's always been kind of mid-pack, so to speak, and he's had a few times where he's had his opportunities to have a decent result and then something's gone on and he's always seemed to have bad luck, but he's holding off Luca Townsend at the moment for 6th place. Even 7th would be a decent position for him. Callum Kirkpatrick at the moment in 8th is getting away. 9th is now Ryan Powell, who's holding off the fight of the 2 podium finishes from last race of Ashley Field and Declan Evans. Field looks like he's diving up the inside of Evans into the right-hander. Evans is just going to hold it on the outside, but a bit of a touch on the gravel. Field has allowed Evans to take the position straight back as we make our way back to the front. We can see it's still Ben Brenson getting away. Ewan is now under attack from Jack Brady. Brenson is not going to argue this whatsoever. He's going to love to see this going on behind him. Still Garside sat in 4th. 5th is still Ali Johnson, 6th for Luca Townsend, who's now got past Kieran McKeldin, and Callum Kirkpatrick in 8th is now really gaining onto the back of these two. 9th at the moment is Ryan Powell, who's now escaped the clutches of Evans and Field, who potentially could have got themselves in a bit of a pickle battling each other. And then the fight for 12 headed by James Allen, currently Kieran McKellen's teammate. Got Shane Bellotti 13th, 14th is Dolphin Turbo, which is of course Andrew Lawrence, who's got Stephen coming alongside him. Stephen Cummins going to be on the outside going into turn 1, but he's going to see what he can do under braking. It looks like he's going to keep that position. Gonna have to be careful for Alan under braking as I get black screened. Who's gone? It is Doug 77, unfortunately. Stuart Robson has gone from the race, so we're down now to 19 runners, 19th being Mark Ruddick, Razor Jim 87. Make our way back to the front. Still Ben Brinson as another black screen. I swear, if this is the one thing that annoys me with Forza, just let it carry on. Just show that someone's gone. I don't care. It's Carl Cully who's been removed now, so we're down to 18 runners. Cully is not having a day of it, but still Ben Brinson sat in first. Second place is Jack Brady now from Jake Owen. Jake Owen sat now and just going to be backing off slightly. He's got Phil Garside all over the back of him, so Garside's going to look to try and get himself back onto the podium. Will he be the only person to make two? No, him and Jack are going to try and both make a podium this week. Make our way further back, we can see that Kieran McKeldon now is 8th, so Callum Kirkpatrick's made his way past. Ryan Powell is in 9th, all over the back of McKeldon in his Audi. 10th is still Dan Lemons. In his interview he did say that he was going to aim to finish, if not 10th, then at least close to the top 10, so he's kind of running exactly where he wanted to. Actually, Field wanted top 10, he's currently 11th, so these two are going to have to swap if they want to both be happy. But back to the front, Ben Branson looks like he is getting a bit of a gap, and he's going to keep hold of this one. If he can get a win, this will be a massive victory for him. Jack Braley, second place, is slowly gapping away from Jake Owen still, so he's going to be chasing him down. Third is Owen, who's obviously holding off Garside. Fifth is Ali Johnston. Sixth is Luca Townsend, who's got Callum Kirkpatrick not really within fighting distance quite yet. Behind them is still a battle between Powell and McKeldon for 8th. Looks like McKeldon ran a little bit wide and Powell's gone for the cutback, but he's not going to be able to get past him into that turn. He's going to go behind him into the left-hander. McKeldon's doing well to hold him off. As Connor Ambrose looks like he's been removed now. I think he's pitted for damage, and unfortunately that is just the end of it. I'll just check. As you can see, I think a bit of a rear slide there from Kieran McKeldon has allowed Ryan Powell to the outside. They're going to go side by side, banging doors, banging wheels. Robust move from the Welshman, but he's not going to give that one up. Back to the front, and Jack Brady's really now gained onto the back of Ben Brinson. He's got 3.5 laps to hold off this onslaught that's going to come his way. The battle behind for third is going to keep everyone busy, with Phil Garside now holding on to that position. He's got past Jake Owen. So really we're looking at the front two. Is Garside going to make a move on these guys as a result of the battling that's going to commence behind him? Is he going to drag the pack with him? Is this going to end up being a big battle for the win? After what was a bit of a mediocre mid-race of this one, it's gone a bit hectic again. Battles all down the field. 8th still sat there for Ryan Powell, who's just getting about a car's, maybe 2 car lengths ahead of Kieran McKeldon at this point, who's got Declan Evans still behind him in 10th, but Evans is still holding off Ashley Field, and I don't think these two are really going to make a challenge any further than what they are, unless a mistake ahead of them happens. But back to the front, still going to be held by Ben Brinson as they enter lap 10. Jack Brady sat behind, going to see if he can make inroads on the Dane. Third at the moment is still Phil Garside, who's got Jake Owen 4th, 5th Ali Johnson, 6th is Luke Townsend, who's brought Callum Kirkpatrick into the back of the pack. So top 7 now are all, or 7th through to 3rd, are all going to be battling now with 5 cars. Potentially just the 4 of them, as Owen is holding off the 2 Chevrolets and the Audi behind him and allowing Phil Garside to get a bit of a gap. The gap at the front has reduced itself down to under 100 feet. Brenson's going to have to be careful and start driving defensively soon if Brady can get the attack on there. It looks like he's going to do. Looks like Brady just kind of hit another level and has reeled in Ben Brinson, but it's completely different trying to get past him, and in the process it looks like he has brought Phil Garside along with him. So it looks like, I think Garside touched the gravel there on the outside and he's dropped back a little bit more, so that's allowing Jack to be released a little bit. He's not going to have to be looking over his shoulder quite yet. As I've noticed, Kieran McKeldon looks like he's had something happen, because he's now down in 12th place. So after battling Ryan Powell and holding himself in front of Evans and Field, it looks like something's gone on and he's now dropped back down, but he's going to try and make an early move on Stephen coming into the right hander. Good move and under brake, and he's got past Cummins going to have to stay slotted behind, so McKeldin down to 13. Now Andrew Lawrence is in 12th, 11th is James Allen on a bit of a lonely race. Ashley Field is still stuck behind Evans, both in the top 10 now. Ryan Powell on his own is going to potentially try to get onto the back of the pack for 3rd place, headed of course by Phil Garside. As Luca Townsend and Callum Kirkpatrick are looking like they're potentially going to be side by side into turn 1. Enter lap 11 is still Ben Berenson in 1st, 2nd place is Jack Brady. It's going to be between these two for the win potentially. 3rd place is at the moment Phil Garside of course. As Kirkpatrick under braking has got past Luca Townsend. Ryan Powell behind them in 8th is going to see if he can get onto the back of him, but it's not really had much of a chance to shine this race. He got his 4th place obviously in race 2, and he's come back through the pack as well as obviously Luca Townsend and those around him. But the big move at the moment has been for Jack Brady, who is now right on the rear bumper of Ben Berenson for the win. Is this going to be another last lap overtake between that Jack Brady's going to be involved in, except this time he's going to be on the good side of it. We're on lap 11. Garside has now escaped and is back into 3rd, but I think that little touch of the gravel that he did a couple of laps back is going to cost him. Behind them you can see that Ewan is really having to hold off the challenge that is being made by Johnston, Townsend and of course Kirkpatrick. Evans is still holding on to 9th place as Powell just touches the gravel, and that's going to put him now pretty solidly in 8th, so we're going to stick to the fight for the front. Ben Berenson just driving his own race, trying to keep Jack Brady behind. It looked like he went a little bit wide there into the right-hander of Bouchine as they make their way towards Blondetti. Sorry, Bouchine's final corner, I meant Corental, apologies. Into Bouchine, here we can see that it's still Ben Berenson with about a 50-foot gap, about a car length between them, but he's run a little bit wide and Jack Brady's got a nose in the front, but closed the door quick by Berenson. He realised the gap that was opening. We're entering the final lap now. Ben Berenson holding on to 1st place, 2nd place is Jack Brady, 3rd Phil Garside, but it's really this fight between these two that we're going to keep track of for this entire lap. Is Berenson going to go defensive and hold that right hand side? Looks like he's just going to take his race in line. Don't think it's a bit of a lock up. Is he going to run wide and now Brayley in? It looks like Brayley did the same thing, so Berenson's going to hold in through the first turn, and he's going to be okay going into the left right of Lucio and Poggio Secco. Don't think Brady's going to be close enough to make a move into the downhill right hander unless a mistake is made by Berenson, so we could be seeing an overtake being made having to be through the final few corners. But Berenson is doing so well as the Dane to hold on to this position. He's held on to the win from pretty much lap 1. Got past Bellotti quite early and has held on to 1st place, and Brady is now all over the back trying to take this win from him. Looks like Brady's got a decent run down the hill, however. Make the way down to Arrabbiata. Brady not going to be able to make a move up the hill. He's going to make a move at the top. It looks like Berenson's going to hold the line. Garside, you can see the slide he's getting. He's really sending it to try and make a gap. Brayley goes to the outside under braking. Is he going to keep his nose side by side into the left-hander? It looks like he's going to. Is he going to... Berenson does not want to give up on that one. He is putting the elbows out, taking the inside line still into Corental. That was a close one, but is Brayley going to be able to make a move through the chicane? This is just bringing Garside in, so watch out with these two. If they end up making a mistake, Garside's just in the firing zone now. We go towards the final corner. It's still Ben Berenson holding off 1st place. But down towards the line, it looks like Ben Berenson's going to hold on to this one for what will be his 1st win of the season. What a drive from the Dane. Held off Jack Brady in a late onslaught. Phil Garside takes 3rd, 4th is JQ, and 5th has gone to Andy Johnson, 6th has gone to Luca Townsend, 7th for Callum Kirkpatrick, 8th has gone to Ryan Powell, 9th went to Ashley Field over the line. Can't believe I missed that, however, it looks like they were side by side. 10th has gone to Declan Evans, 11th for James Allen, 12th for Andrew Lawrence, 13th for Kieran McKell, 14th for Stephen Crum, 15th for Robert New, and 16th over the line is Shane Bellotti. Oh, what a finish. I'm going to have to try and get Ben in here. Great finish to that race, but what a drive. included your audio?
I have indeed.
Well, well, well. First off, Ben,
What do we have here?
what
Did
do
not
we
expect
have
that.
here, buddy? Great drive.
Oh, I'm shaking.
Straight up thought Jack had you.
Oh, so did I. But I was like, I gotta try. And as soon as I saw like the gap behind Jack was kind of big, I was like, oh, I'm going to defend as well. Because otherwise I would have just let him have it. Because otherwise I would have been swamped.
One heck of a drive.
Yeah. I think
That
we're
finish.
just equally speechless.
Yeah, to be honest. That was... You know, those times when I start going a little bit high-pitched and asthma when it starts getting really exciting?
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's all I need to say, to be honest. Great drive, Timber.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Congrats on the win.
Thanks.
That is your first podium of the season, and you get it in the face of in the sense of a win. So well done.
Yep, thank you. Didn't expect it.
I
but
can hear you
happy got it.
smiling.
Oh, I'm so
Um,
much like this.
I've got
It
Callum
is.
saying Ben should have a blood test for that, check for doping. I've got Ali saying well done, Ben. So you're getting hyped up right now, mate. But great drive, bud.
Thank you.
I
I'll
think that's
try
all
to
I can
keep it
say,
up.
to be honest.
Likewise. I don't, yeah.
I've got
I'm
no words.
speechless.
I think I'm going to have to leave you to it, let you go and party on, and I'll see if I can get Jack to have a chat about it, because I think he'll be able to speak more than both of us at the moment. Great
Yeah.
drive, mate. Alright, congrats.
Thank you.
Well, you again.
Yes. It's not my night tonight.
No, but however, still, decent drive.
Yep.
Yeah,
It's another
obviously I know
strong points.
you didn't end up getting the win there, but I don't think you could have done much more than what you did on those final few laps.
No, it was gutting. I got a great start and managed to get through the incident at turn 2. Managed to pick off Shane and thought, oh yeah, I can, eventually wheel Ben in, but made 2 mistakes, dropped all the way down to 4th, then managed to get back up to 2nd again. It was just a case of wheel Ben in, but by that time the tyres were shot and he was just covering every line. I thought I could do it on the last lap round the outside, but just didn't have the momentum.
No, I mean you had that move going into the right-left where you kind of took a dive on the inside and you looked like you had it stuck, on the outside under braking, and Ben just kind of had to hold on to it, and at that point I thought you had it,
Yeah, I mean,
but he
it was
just held
hard
it around the
'cause
outside, didn't
Yeah, it's just he had the better line and he carries good momentum through the corners. So I couldn't get him, but can't take anything away from him. He raced really well. So and it's good to see him get some luck. He's had bad luck
Definitely.
this season, so it's good to see him do well and get another winner
he?
this season. It's been
No,
a
completely.
mixed bag of winners.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to having to sort the standings out in a second from all this, but again, great drive, mate. And
Thank you. Look forward to next week.
yeah. Well, I look forward to it next week as well, if it's anything like this week.
Yeah. Hopefully I'll be P1 this time, not P2 all the time.
I don't know. Let's not push it. Well,
Catch you later.
I'll let you go, mate. But well done again.
Cheers. Bye.
Right. So there we go. That is this week's race over. 3 different winners. And from what I can tell, a really decent race 3. But thank you everyone for checking in. To the new guys, welcome, etc. And I will